Now to the latest on the Ebola crisis here in the U.S. Today, dozens of Dallas residents who came in close contact with Ebola victim Thomas Eric Duncan are free to leave their homes. Roughly 50 friends and family members have been in isolation for the past 3 weeks, but now the 21-day incubation period is up. So with no signs of any symptoms, they are considered virus-free. A labor worker at the Dallas hospital where the man was treated has also tested negative for the virus. She'd been on a Caribbean cruise ship. Meanwhile, federal officials are ramping up readiness to deal with future cases. A top government official says health workers treating Ebola patients will now wear protective gear with no skin showing. That was apparently the mistake made at the Dallas hospital where two nurses contracted Ebola. In another development, the Pentagon is now putting together a special Ebola support squad. The team will consist of 30 people, 20 critical care nurses, 5 doctors, and 5 trainers in infectious disease protocols. The team will spend a week undergoing specialized training. Then they'll be ready to go anywhere in the U.S. to provide immediate support to hospital workers if additional Ebola cases arise. They will not be sent overseas. So hazmat suits are popping up in costume shops as some people are planning to dress up as Ebola patients for Halloween. Now, some say the costume trend was inspired by the TV show Breaking Bad and that Ebola is just a new twist. Still, that does raise a question for some, even if it's all in good fun. Is it too soon to poke fun at a serious disease, or really is it no big deal at all?
It's the hazmat outfit. I mean, I knew they were going to pop up. It's not the patients that they're making fun of. They're not making fun of anybody, really. It's just that's what they wear. That's the garb they wear.
All in fun.
I don't know.
Well, congratulations are in order for one of my absolute favorite NFL players, Peyton Manning.
And the Denver Broncos quarterback has surpassed, by the way, Brett Favre for the most touchdown passes in NFL history. During last night's game, if you saw it against the San Francisco 49ers, Manning threw his 509th career touchdown pass. Yeah, so from here on out, all Manning's touchdown passes are going to set the bar just a little higher. Closest active player, by the way, is Drew Brees, who sits in 4th place with 374 touchdowns as of Sunday. So he's got quite a way to go to make up that 509 number.
Peyton Manning is such a class act, too.
You like him, huh?
I love him. He's a great guy, University of Tennessee grad. So
there you go.
Good people.
There you go. Well, more from the football world, and a kind of funny moment, the Cardinals-Raiders game, if you saw this one.
Well, you've heard of the saying, joined at the hip. Well, in this case, it was joined at the feet. So Cardinals quarterback Carson Palmer and Raiders linebacker Khalil Mack, they couldn't get up after a play in the 4th quarter. Take a look. You see their cleats got stuck together. Isn't that crazy? Nuts. Fortunately, 2 offensive linemen were there to get them untangled just
I've
a
never
bit.
seen that before. That's pretty funny.
It is. Well, up next, protecting your privacy when you don't know you're being watched.
Yeah,
A York County man is facing several charges after he was found sleeping in a stranger's home in Cumberland County. West Shore Regional Police were called to the 200 block of Herman Avenue in Lemoyne early Sunday morning after a homeowner found Matthew McCullough drunk inside his home. Police say McCullough was disoriented and didn't know where he was. He's been charged with public drunkenness and underage drinking, but police say he is under 21. This morning at the state capitol from our Harrisburg Skycam, flags at the Capitol complex and state buildings in York County will fly at half-staff today in honor of former state senator Mike Waugh. He died earlier this month at the age of 58. Waugh served 20 years in state government and was most recently the executive director of the PA Farm Show Complex. Commitment 2014 coverage now in the race for governor. With just over 2 weeks until Election Day, Pennsylvania voters are speaking out about where they stand. The Associated Press found many voters know little about Democratic candidate Tom Wolf, but they're backing him anyway because they're disenchanted with Tom Corbett. Republicans backing Corbett defended his fiscal conservatism and said he took unfair lumps for his stance on schools and held the line on major taxes. Meanwhile, President Obama is expected to cast his midterm ballot today. He's in Chicago this morning and will vote there. Today is the first day of early voting in Illinois.
And now let's get to...
Well, now the latest on a state Supreme Court justice suspended for his involvement in the state's porn email scandal.
And News 8's morning reporter Ann Shannon here with the latest on this. Ann.
Well, good morning to you, Lori and Jerry. Justice Seamus McCaffrey is suspended with pay until the case can be reviewed. McCaffrey is accused of sending or receiving 234 sexually explicit emails from his state account between 2008 and 2012. McCaffrey has apologized, saying this was all a lapse of judgment on his part. But he's also saying that he was singled out by the Chief Justice. Now, in a statement, McCaffrey's attorney says the action against his client, quote, should surprise no one, given Chief Justice Castile's relentless crusade to destroy his career and reputation. He goes on to say, "We will continue in our efforts to expose the malicious intent behind this effort to take down Justice McCaffrey. We're confident that he'll be cleared of any wrongdoing and return to the bench soon." Now, the Judicial Review Board will make a decision on whether Justice McCaffrey should be formally charged with misconduct. That will happen within the next 30 days. Back to you. York County 911 says an accident is affecting traffic on Route 30 east this morning. Dispatchers say the one vehicle accident has the eastbound lanes of Route 30 closed from Memory Lane to the Mount Zion exit. And now to the latest on the Ebola outbreak. The United States ambassador to the United Nations is expected to land in Guinea today. It's part of Samantha Power's trips to all three of the West African countries hit hardest by the Ebola outbreak. The trip comes as a nurse quarantined in a New Jersey hospital is criticizing the way her case has been handled. Casey Hickox says she was questioned for several hours at Newark International Airport after arriving Friday, but she says no one would explain what was going on. Officials say she was taken to a hospital after developing a fever, but she says she was flushed because she was upset. Preliminary tests for Ebola have come back negative, but she is still being monitored at the hospital. Hickox had contact with Ebola patients in Sierra Leone. Also this morning, the New York City doctor Craig Spencer is still in isolation in Bellevue Hospital after testing positive for Ebola. Several places the Doctors Without Borders volunteer visited after returning from Guinea have now been decontaminated, including this meatball shop. It has since reopened, and New York City's mayor ate lunch there Saturday.
And his customers over the last few days have been here to support him. They want to patronize this place even more. And that says something about New York City.
Around 6 o'clock last evening, we opened up the doors, and I was a little nervous to see what would happen. But we had a line down the block, and we filled up immediately, and we were busy all night last night.
The mayor also rode the subway Friday. Dr. Spencer took the subway on Wednesday evening, then got sick on Thursday morning. Susquehanna Valley News this morning, and several viewers have contacted News 8 about hearing loud noises and their homes shaking last night. Well, we do know that Fort Indiantown Gap was scheduled to do live artillery, live fire exercises last night until 11 p.m. We have called the Gap, but have yet to hear back about whether the artillery fire was responsible for the noise that many of you heard. Meanwhile, police are still looking for the man who they say robbed and fired a gun while robbing the Domino's Pizza in Lidditz, Lancaster County. It happened around 8:30 Friday night. Investigators say the man walked in, pulled a handgun, and took money from the register. Police say as he left, he warned employees to stay away and then fired a shot. No one was hit. To Cumberland County now, and police have arrested a man who was living in this country illegally after a slow-speed chase. West Shore Regional Police say Jonathan Farajo Penarando committed multiple traffic violations while driving through Lemoyne. Officers say he did not stop for police, but did slow to 10 miles an hour before finally stopping. Police say the Ecuadorian native is in the U.S. illegally. He's expected to face multiple charges, including driving under the influence. A busy night for firefighters in Lancaster County after fighting this large barn fire near Elizabethtown. It happened in the 1100 block of Landis Road in West Donegal Township just after 5:30. This photo was sent to the U-Local section of WGAL.com. The barn was reportedly full of hay. 911 dispatchers tell us it took about an hour to get the fire under control. There's no word yet on what started that fire. And now to the latest on the search for suspected shooter Eric Freen. State police say a car stolen in the Pocono Mountains a week ago is not linked to the Freen search. And tomorrow, the Lancaster County Sheriff's Department is planning to help out with the search once again. Its K-9 unit responded in the first couple weeks of the search and will head back tomorrow for another week. Freen is accused of shooting and killing Corporal Brian Dixon and wounding Trooper Alex Douglas. Well, as the Freen manhunt continues, communities affected are trying to continue with their normal activities. But because of the search, many Halloween events were canceled. Today, Barrett Township will host a trunk or treat event, and a group of moms from Lancaster is also trying to bring some Halloween treats to children affected by the search. About 400 mothers started sharing the journey. Lancaster Motherhood Group. And Saturday, they made goodie bags for the children.